Now, former Coronation Street star Julie Hesmondalgh is back on TV tonight, joining Series 3 of The A Word. That's the drama, of course, which follows a young boy and his family, and he has autism. And I love this series. I've watched it away from the very, very start. Really excellent cast and so believable. That's the thing about it, Julie. It's so authentic.
Oh, it's such a lovely, lovely programme, isn't it? I was so chuffed to be part of it. And it seems like you don't see many programmes like this on telly, really, just as a family drama that has so many people with like additional needs and disabilities in it as lead characters with their own storylines and lives. It's just brilliant.
No, it's great. And it was written especially for you. That must be amazing when you get a part that's done for you. Somebody has got you in their head when they're writing it.
I know. It's such an honour. And it's funny, actually, because I think that what Peter Bowker, the writer, had in mind was that he wanted to show joy in a school environment. And he said that a lot of actors, when they're playing teachers, and particularly special educational needs teachers, have a kind of reverence about them because we're so in awe of people who do that job, and rightly so. And he didn't want somebody who would play it with that kind of slightly saintly tinge. So that was the reason he thought that I would get it. And it was absolutely amazing experience working on it because we filmed in an actual school in Wythenshawe in Manchester with the actual kids from the school. And it was such an amazing experience to work with them and the staff there, and to go and to shadow them for a day, and then actually be acting with the kids as well. We had some kids who were actors, but then we had kids from the school, and it was just amazing. And it actually was one of those things where I started to think like, oh, I could do this as another career. You know, if it didn't work out, this is absolutely wonderful. Like 3 weeks into homeschooling, and I'm like smacking my head on the table.
I know. I'm quite glad I'm not having to do that. My daughter's too old for homeschooling. She has flown the nest and she's awake. Because it gives you a renewed respect for teachers, though, doesn't it, Julie?
Lorraine, like off the scale. I cannot tell you. It's so... Actors are hilarious. I got picked up in a lovely car, taken to set, had my breakfast in my trailer, got taken to set, looked after these children and played with them for like half an hour at a time, and then they were taken off. And I'm like, I could do this. I think I could do this. It's like here. I mean, honestly, it has been so challenging. I was never any good at maths and science, and I'm still no good at maths and science. But at least my daughter and me are sitting there just like trying to work our way through it. So yes, incredible respect for teachers, and especially teachers of children with additional needs, you know, who I mean, this school was just absolutely knockout. It's such a wonderful place with wonderful staff, and you kind of wish that all education could be like that because it's so tailor-made for the children. You know, it was just wonderful. So a brilliant summer.
No, we would like to see more of that. That is for sure. You're absolutely right. Now, look, at home, you've obviously been homeschooling, of course, but you've also been doing brilliant things, Julie. You've been doing these videos for NHS workers. You've been recording stories for kids. You know, I mean, I know it's all about, because you're the kind of woman that likes to be doing. You know, you like to be doing things. But that's a lovely thing to do, and that will really make people feel better.
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, I feel like this has been... I've never felt as useless in my life. I mean, even listening to Joe just then, I'm just like, oh... I just get these requests in, as I'm sure that everybody who's on the telly is doing at the moment, you know, because they're saying that it gives, like, a little boost to people. For me, I'm just like, really? A doctor on the, like, 10-second break from a 12-hour shift really wants to be like, hello, I used to be Hayley on Corrie, you know, thank you for all you're doing, but apparently it does give a bit of a boost to some, so that's great. And it's good to be able to do something, do you know, it's great to be able, and yes, I've been, last weekend, this great theatre company, Payne's Plough, aware that some vulnerable people, elderly people, don't have the tech, you know what I mean? They don't all have iPads and iPhones and stuff. We're ringing people in their homes and doing monologues, reading stories to them at home. Yeah. So last week it was like, a lovely lady from Hackney. We had a lovely chat for half an hour. Then I read this beautiful monologue by this writer, Chloe Moss. And then we had another chat, and that was it. So it was really nice.
Brilliant.
Actually.
Gosh, when would you ever get the opportunity to do that? Now, look, you mentioned Hayley, and what I think, and she was, you playing the part, you're a pioneer, broke down barriers. It was fantastic, but so interesting that you were saying now it really wouldn't be a part that you would do because it would have to go to a trans actor.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I don't think I would be offered it, to be honest, Lorraine. But no, I feel really strongly about that.
Yeah.
You know, when I took the role in 1997, it was a very different world.
Sure.
And I'm not saying for a second that things are easy for trans people now, because they're certainly not. But the press was very different. The way that we talked about trans people, there was very little understanding or empathy towards it. And I felt at the time that it would have been unbearable pressure on a trans actor coming out in such a public way on such a massive show in such a huge and controversial storyline. So all I could do at the time was to reassure, I suppose, the different trans activist groups who were, you know, very concerned that an actor who wasn't trans was playing the role. That I just said, well, I'll be your ally and I'll do it to the absolute best of my ability. But by the time I left, I think that it would have become an anachronism. I think it was the right time, and it wasn't why I left, but it just happened to be at the exact right time. And all these amazing trans actors are coming through now and really storming it, you know, like Annie Wallace in Hollyoaks, who plays Sally the head teacher. There's so many, and so it's wonderful to be able to see this blossoming of trans talent now.
Yeah, but you played your part in making it possible for others to do that, which I think is so. It does show. You're absolutely right. You've got a long way to go, but it does show that we're making progress. You know, every day we're making progress, which is terrific.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's like, and even with the A word, you know, it's about putting people that aren't normally centre stage. And then if somebody's in your living room and you're living with them and experiencing their day-to-day life, it helps you understand their life, and it takes away fear, and fear engenders prejudice. So that's the way to do it. I've always thought that telly and theatre and art is such a brilliant way to like break down those boundaries and fight prejudice.
No, you're absolutely right. And as well as that, you have a blinking good time, because the last time we saw you on our screens was with The Trouble with Maggie Cole, with the delicious Dawn French. And I said to Dawn when she was talking about this that you two were made to be best pals, that you would get on incredibly well.
Yeah, it was. I saw that. I saw your interview with her. I was really chuffed. It's like, well, it's a funny thing, you know, when you do something like this, and I've had a few experiences like this, Lorraine, and you must have the same thing. I mean, you might be like a bit used to it now. When you meet people, you know, in that who you've watched all your life, who've been absolute heroes of yours, and you know, it's like, I mean, I grew up on French and Saunders, so suddenly be in a room with her and sort of like, you have to kind of like pretend to be a bit cooler than you are. You know, yeah, this is like my normal day, just like, you know, sitting around a table with icons, acting with them. And it's like, and so to become mates with her and to find out what an absolutely brilliant, smart, funny, gloriously indiscreet person she is. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, because you do worry, you know, that your expectations are going to be a bit too high of someone, but no, we had a brilliant time, and the whole cast and crew were brilliant on that show. And what a place to spend a summer as well. It was just
gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So look, like Joe Malone says, we're all going to make the most of our time in lockdown and try and be as positive as we possibly can, right?
I will try.
We're going to try.
And that's it, isn't it? And in part of that is being grateful for what we have, because I'm aware of that. So yeah,
Julie,
yeah.
A joy to talk to you, my love. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in person real soon. Oh, she's amazing, amazing.